So, hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm SG Aditya Sharma, and this channel is just Aditya Sharma, where you know about many things. So, our topic today is going to be: Was Nehru the worst Prime Minister of India? We'll try to answer that question. We will see what he done good, what he done bad, and many things. So, let's start our video first. As you may know, Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister of India. So he did become Prime Minister, but many do not know how. So after independence, to decide a Prime Minister candidate, Congress held election. Gandhiji thought that everyone will vote for for Nehru, but no, that did not happen. Out of 15 regional committees, 12 regional committees voted for Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who is also known as the Iron Man of India. And other three abstained to vote or they did not vote. Then you might get a question: how did Nehru become the first Prime Minister of India? So it was simple. Gandhiji said no. Nehru has a good image in the world, so Nehru has to become the Prime Minister, not Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. I mean, does this make any sense? No, it does not. But it makes a little bit of sense that Nehru had a good image, but still, whatever Gandhiji wanted, that only became. So after Nehru became the Prime Minister, he made India a socialist nation, and no other company could come to India. Well, that was one of the good decision of Nehru, because during independence, the number of literators were just 12%. Could you just believe that? And there was a lot of poverty. So he has done a good job in that one. So let's know what were his mistakes. First thing, Raja Hari Singh, the ruler of Kashmir, who was ruling Kashmir during independence, he agreed to join India. But what did our Nehru do? Exactly. He did not want Jammu and Kashmir to join India, but before that, Pakistan attacked it, and everyone said, let's just finish this war and then go to UN. But Nehru said, no chance. We have to first go to UN. The United Nations, where this was put up, they held a debate, and as you may know, line of control was drawn. LOC. This is Pakistan occupied Kashmir. This much of land was given to Kashmir. Why? I don't understand in this, but one of the things he wanted was to keep India's image good in the world society. But it was very bad, and I am also not so satisfied with this thing what Nehru did. And after this, the Kashmir, India only was left with this much of Kashmir, as you can see. Still, Aksai Chin was a part of India during that time, and the biggest mistake Nehru made was to refuse to take the permanent seat of United Nations Security Council. So you may know that, or you may not know, USA unofficially offered the UN permanent seat to India, which is India now trying a lot and lot to get to the permanent seat. We are trying so much, but Nehru said no, we can't get that. Why? Because China needed it. I mean, come on. He wanted to make China a friendly state. Wanted to make China a friendly state. But if he wanted to make China, later this seat was given to China. But if India had got that seat, you may or you would know what would have happened. How much India would have influence over the UN. Even India could pass the bills without China using its veto power. Now we are not getting the UN permanent seat because China uses its veto power to, not give India the permanent seat. There are five permanent members in United Nations Security Council. There are mainly two organs of UN. I'm telling only the two organs which are related to other countries: UNGA and UNSC. UNSC stands for United Nations Security Council, where there are not so much of members, and in UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, there are 193 members. So there, Nehru presented it, and this much of Kashmir was gone to Pakistan. I am still not able to understand it. But after this also, Nehru refused the offer of permanent seat of UN. Could you just believe that? Seriously. But the next, another thing, he gave Kashmir special status, also known as Article 370, which was rightfully taken out by the BJP government, which was an excellent move. And many other countries also said that Article 370 was unconstitutional, but still Nehru gave it. Let's know the provisions of Article 370. Special powers exercised by Jammu and Kashmir dual citizenship, separate flag for Jammu and Kashmir. Seriously, separate flag. And what is the use of it being in India? Separate flag, separate constitution. I mean, it's as good as another nation. Article 370, financial emergency not applicable. No reservations for minorities such as Hindus and Sikhs. This is about Kashmir. Indian citizens from other state cannot buy land or property in Jammu and Kashmir. They cannot become the citizens of Jammu and Kashmir, and they cannot buy anything. RTI, Right to Information Act, was also not applicable in Jammu and Kashmir. During duration of legislative assembly is 6 years. If a woman of Jammu and Kashmir marries out of state, she loses the citizenship of that state. Panchayats did not have any rights. Right to education was not applicable. How can you call this a part of India? Seriously. Because there is nothing that Indian constitution has. It can write its own constitution, but BJP used a very good tactic to remove it. And that time there was no government in Jammu and Kashmir, and it was President Slur. And if you have to remove Article 70, there has to be they have to approve the state government of Jammu and Kashmir, the president, and the parliament, both the houses. Exactly that happened. There was no government in Jammu and Kashmir. And the next thing, when there's no government in Jammu and Kashmir, the governor has to put the sign. and then the president also did. So by using this, they made Jammu and Kashmir finally a part of India. Now we can ask back the POK or take back the POK or Raksai. This is was the best move of all of the term of BJP which has happened now. And the next thing, I mean, you will not believe this. This is Gwadar port. Oman is a nation which you must know. Oman's Sultan offered this port to India. This was nothing more than a fishing port at that time, but now it's an absolutely important port. Pakistan uses it for many purposes like trade and navy and etc. etc. But if India would have taken, he did not wanted to give this to, the Pakistan, but finally he sold it because India was not interested. When they said this to Nehru, Nehru said, "No, we don't want it. That belongs to Pakistan. If this port was with us, think about our situation now with Pakistan. It would have been lot better. But still, it was said no to this port. Does this make any sense? Think if Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel had become the Prime Minister of India, many things could have happened. India could have been a permanent member of UNSC, but many things, good things were done by Nehru also. He protected India from any coups which many other countries were not able to, and the next thing he protected India was from military coups, and the revolutions did not happen and there was no military dictatorship, but Pakistan turned to a military dictatorship. So there are now currently 5 members in UNSC: Russia, USA, France, England, and China. If India had become, what would happen? India is now becoming a superpower, and India's population is the number one, but it still does not have the UNSC permanent seat. China is using its veto power to block it. So this was my analysis. So let's come to the answer. Was Nehru the worst Prime Minister of India? Maybe not the worst, but he did some things good, but he made very big mistakes. So I think you understood by this what happened. You can comment on this your opinion, and let's meet in the next video. Thank you, Tada. Bye bye.